psycho. I'm Bush and Psycho Bush. Yeah, welcome.
Fat ass bitches who love our food.
Oh, hang on. Fuck yeah.
I swear to God, it's giving me COVID. That's a huge thing. You buy internet stuff. We call each other cunt. We call each other mate, Bobber. Also, we do not call each other cupcake. Fucking sitting there like, oh man, that's fucking. Oh, God damn it. We birth human beings from our fucking vagina.
Just get fucked.
Get fucked. Fuck, I can do that in my sleep.
Fucking Jesus.
Oh my God. I've got me tea. It's slippery when wet.
One fucking hate the word moist.
Oh, there's the Biscoff. Oh my God, Biscoff.
Biscoff. Do not go to an Aussie. Love my tacos. Now, this bloody shield.
Rant. I have a rant.
Psycho rants. We're going to do the fucking Psycho Bush rants.
Psycho rant. Time for it. Psycho rant.
Yeah, so she's giving you the eyes right now. Just straight off the fucking bat, you know.
Fucking savage. Fucking like, follow, share. Bitches. Nah.
Hey. What is going on, people?
The fuck is going on? Bitches.
We are at episode 6.
Number 6.
No,
6 is your favourite. 6 is close to 9 and together it makes it 69, motherfucker.
Right. How's everything going, people? Thank you very much for listening. And, yeah. Here we go.
What the fuck's happening? What the fuck's going on? How's your day?
My day has been very productive. I've been sleeping. I've had a very dopey day today.
We've had bear hibernation day from the Bushman. Huh?
Yes, we've had bear hibernation day. I stayed up quite late last night, and yeah, it's been one of those days. But it's been good.
Right.
Been good.
Right.
And how about you?
I slept in too.
Why not? Why not?
My husband let me sleep in. After all the effort I put in yesterday and all the walking I did yesterday, I was in so much bloody pain. My back was screaming at me that by the time I lay down in my bed, it literally, like less than 2 seconds, it was just lay down, I love you. That was it. I was gone. Even Damien sat there and he's like, you've fucking fallen asleep quite quick lately, babe. I'm actually really surprised. Like, I don't even have time to roll over and try and poke you. Like, you're just gone.
Well, you did have a pretty big day, didn't you?
Well, yeah, it was my nan's 85th birthday.
Well, that's usually a pretty big event.
Yeah, it is. It is a big event, but we tried to keep it small and intimate.
Yeah. Keep it nice and civilized, nice and family orientated, I suppose you probably could say.
Family orientated, yeah.
And you had a pretty hot day that I seen on your weather.
Oh,
you had a
mate.
very hot day.
It was a stinker. It was a stinker. Everyone else, like, the boys were like, Mom, I'm hot. Can I go down to the beach? Because we were up on the top of the foreshore on the grass bit.
Yeah.
Mum, we go for a swim. I was like, right, strip down to, like, we didn't bring bathers or nothing. So I was like, right, strip down to your jocks. Go for gold.
Yeah, fucking
Get down to your jocks. Because it doesn't matter. Like, they can just fucking free ball afterwards.
No, we've only had like 12 degrees here or 11 degrees here yesterday or the day before.
I think yesterday we hit about, from what I saw, about 36, 37. So we're in the middle of autumn, apparently.
Well, that's a pretty fucking hot day when you think about it. That's a nice warmish day, especially being outside that type of shit. So
yeah, plus the humidity was over 50%, so she was a bit warm,
a bit muggy, a bit sticky.
It was that's the thing. It wasn't muggy. It was just hot. It was
dry.
It wasn't thick hot. It wasn't dry hot. It was because there was a cool breeze once in a while, and if you're in the shade, it was nice and cool. But if you're in that sun, it's just it's that bearing down hot.
Yeah. I've experienced that before.
Like you can feel the heat beating down on you type hot.
Yeah.
There I am in a never before seen footage of me in a fucking dress.
Yeah, that was unreal that I heard that you're actually in a fucking dress. That was pretty unreal. Coming from you, definitely.
But I did it because it was my nan, and my nan, she's like the queen. She's always been very prideful with herself, and I'm proud to be around my nan, so I make sure I dress myself up a bit when I'm in her presence for something special.
Well, when it comes to these type of special events, most definitely, Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was born in the 40s, for fuck's sake. That was the etiquette back then.
Oh, shit, yeah. Like my nan, she was born in 1942, so, yeah, 1940, but, yeah.
Exactly.
But that was just all the rage back in those days. You always had to be nicely dressed, nicely presented.
Yeah, but on top of that, she was an Air Force wife.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. That's just the way.
Presentation was key.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Definitely. But now, as you guys seen on our Facebook, I actually went to the rugby. Had a killer of a night. Had a real good night.
Yes.
I can't actually show any audio because of music copyrights and bullshit. But it was a great night. If you want to see, just go onto Facebook and you'll see it. I'm heading down to the AFL again.
Who are you going to watch?
Carlton
versus.
Well, we're going to be getting that into the tips, but Carlton and Adelaide, I think. No,
because I want to talk about the tips now.
Oh, you want to do the tips now? Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, well, we're on the subject of AFL. Why not?
Yeah, well, that's... that's true too. But you've got a little one's birthday coming up, but...
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. Tell me who's versing who, because I'm checking my tips out now. And
all right. So, we have got Melbourne and Brisbane.
Round 5. Melbourne and Brisbane Lions.
Yes.
Right.
We've got the GWS Giants versus St Kilda. We've got Port Adelaide versus Fremantle.
Hang on. You got to go by chronological order. So it's Melbourne versus the Lions. It's Bulldogs versus Essendon.
Oh, you're going to do it day by day, eh? Oh, righto then. Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to go with what we're going with. St Kilda versus GWS. Carlton versus the Crows. I'm definitely going Carlton because Crows ain't going to do shit against Carlton.
Well, when it comes to my tips, I reckon Melbourne will probably nearly get Brisbane. Essendon might get the Dogs.
Well, Brisbane Lions are sitting 13th on the ladder.
Yeah, that's true too.
In the betting scheme of things, you got a 13% chance of Lions winning.
Yeah. And they were the so-called grand finalists there last year, so what the fuck?
How mighty fall.
And then, like I said, Essendon against the Dogs. I reckon Essendon will get them. You don't reckon?
Not with the ladder placing. Doggies are up at 8th.
Are they 8th now?
At 12th.
All right, then I'll go with the Dogs then, I suppose. Give the old Dogs a go.
Look, don't quote me on it. I've got to check the injuries list because I do believe there was pretty serious couple of injuries that happened over the weekend that I just want to check in on before I make my decisions. Because that was it. My husband's friend, Brent, he's like, oh, Amanda's doing really good on the tips. All she's doing is she's picking the teams that nobody else picks. And she keeps guessing correctly. I don't actually if you're listening to this, Brand, I do check all of the stats. I check what the lineup is. I check the injuries list. I check the percentages, and I also go into their previous rounds.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I see what the percentage of wins to loss between the two that have battled all these years. Yeah. What the percentage is between them.
That's true too. All right. Well,
And then I look back on the last couple of rounds that we've played since the start of the season. I count how many games they've lost and how many games they've won.
hey, you're a Bruce McAvaney, ain't you? Always have
I'm
always have your stats all over the place. Like
I've got to make sure, mate. And then I look into like the real details of it, like, oh well, they only lost by 4 points, and that team's not too crash hot. Like I weigh it out, and then I go with my gut after that.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
There's no point going with your gut if you don't have any information.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Well, what are you doing with GWS and St Kilda?
Oh, definitely GWS. They've been pretty fucking radical this whole fucking season so far.
Right.
They've been a force to be reckoned with. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I reckon I'll probably go with you then for that one for sure. And then
I go onto both apps. We're on the ESPN for the personal tipping. So
yep.
if you guys ever want to do personal tippings at your local clubs, pubs, or between a friendship group, go onto ESPN.com. You only need a Disney Plus account. That's for you dads out there. To sign up to them, and you can actually do your individual tippings. It's a great way because, we know with our current system that a lot of people used to bitch that they were being rigged. So this is a good way for people to lodge them online. Everyone can see who's gone for what, and there's no cheating. So go to espn.com or download the app today. Or I'd go to AFL website, the AFL website. Like, that's just my personal preferences, so I can keep track of it. They do have live bettings on there too, but as usual, when it comes to gambling, people, please be careful. Don't let it ruin your life, and make sure you seek help from the gambling hotlines if you feel like it's having an impact on your life, because gambling is not good, people.
Yes, be responsible, people. Be respectful, be responsible.
If you're going to gamble, make sure you're doing it with a team like we do with our tips. You put a certain amount in and you just tip and tip and tip, and hopefully by the end of the season you win the kitty. That's the best way to gamble.
That's probably
doing
the safest way.
As a group, as friendship, but still make sure you get the help if you feel like you've got an issue.
Exactly. And then
but anyway, moving on from that.
Yes, I was actually just about to do that. And then
GWS versus St Kilda. GWS is first on the ladder currently. St Kilda's sitting down at ninth, and they've gone down in the ladder already. So I'm definitely going GWS. Definitely going Carlton.
Yes,
sitting at
the good old Blue Boys. Good old Blue
the Crows
Boys.
Are sitting at 15th, and they are at Marvel Stadium. So Carlton is not going to let their fans down.
Hell no.
Gold Coast Suns, they're on their stomping ground against Hawthorn. Suns are going to come through no matter what against Hawthorn.
Yeah, I'll go Gold Coast.
But I am going to have to double check that because they're only 6 places away from each other on the ladder. I'm going to have to check the injuries list and see where we're going from there. Port Adelaide versus Fremantle. Now, this is a really hard one for me. I think I'm going to have to go with Port on it, despite how hard Dockers are playing currently, just because Port is on their Adelaide Oval stomping ground.
And also, too, because of the Carlton Fremantle game, they're going to want to come back swinging. They're really going to come back. That's
what I mean. I'm going to have to sit there right now currently and say I'm going to have to go with Port Adelaide because they're at their stomping ground at the Adelaide Oval. However, that is subject to change after checking the statuses over the injuries list, because I do know, I'm pretty sure I saw one being ran off with a hammy.
Yes, the good old hammy.
Against Carlton. Carlton kicked their ass a little bit. You remember me calling you on the phone screaming my tits off.
Yeah. Me and Mum were literally on the edge of our seats freaking nearly having a heart attack because that's what they do to us every fucking round. They always come through, the old Blueies. Good on them.
And then we've got Geelong Cats versus North Melbourne. Geelong Cats is going to be my go-to because it's at the GMHBA Stadium in Geelong. It's at their stomping ground. But West Coast versus Richmond. Now, this one, again, I'm going to have to really look into this one because although West Coast Eagles is sitting at 18th, Richmond's only 4 places below them.
So that's actually going to be a very interesting fucking round. Like, that's going to be good.
I think I'm going to have to go with West Coast on this one.
You reckon?
Just because it's at the Optus Stadium, it's at our home ground.
And one thing I will say, I'll nickname you Bruce for this, because when we do tippers, I'm going to say Bruce, because that's going to be you, because all your stats. But I reckon Richmond will not win that game, because Richmond have always had some most Victorian teams have actually had a problem with Optus Stadium because how big it is.
Would you like to know why you guys always have such a hard time with our stadium?
Well, I know Carlton have thrashed a few teams over there, but yeah, why?
It's our ground. Our ground's too hard.
True.
Nobody can handle our ground.
Well, the MCG is natural ground, but Marvel is concrete underneath it. But yeah, I dare say it'd be too fucking hard.
Ours is tough. Ours is just sand. It's just hard fucking sand.
So it'd be like sand mixed up with clay, wouldn't it?
Most of our earth here is made up of dirt sand, like dark sand.
Yes,
right, and then you go closer up north, and it's red sand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Naturally, like it's just hard, and we're used to playing on it.
Well, that's the whole thing.
A lot of players have always said that it's the ground, and that's the only reason why sometimes we have the advantage. Yeah,
of course, and plus too, it's an open ground too. It's not a closed over like Marvel. It's a national open ground too.
Exactly.
But yeah, I reckon that one game there specifically is going to be a very, very interesting game and see, because everyone's raving on about Dustin Martin. Fuck, so what? One player does not make a fucking team. But I reckon West Coast, if they really pull their heads in, I reckon they might nearly do Richmond.
Well, when you look at it, right, previous matches between Richmond. This is what's going to be it could turn out that Eagles lose. There's a very high possibility that they could lose.
Well, time will tell.
Just because Richmond's won 3 out of 5 of the last rounds with us. So July 2023 was Richmond versus Eagles at the Optus Stadium, and Eagles lost by 38 points. The year May of 2023, again, Richmond versus Eagles, but it was on their stomping ground at the MCG. Eagles lost by 46 points.
Right.
Again at the MCG in 2022 of July, and Richmond won by 35 points against West Coast Eagles. 2022 in April, Richmond won by 109 points.
I remember that game.
That
was a threat.
And 2021 of June, Eagles won by 4 points. So again, this is why I'm saying I might not. I've got to check the injuries list, because our markup of a team isn't too good this year. Well, like we've lost all the big players. We've lost Kennedy. We've lost Nick Nack. We've lost Rioli.
That Newey and all that. Yeah, he was a good player. That bloke, Rioli and that. Well, when you think about Rioli, you think of the great players of Rioli. So Riolis have always been great players.
Exactly. So it's a hard sell right now for me.
But no, I'm going to go West Coast. I'm going to go West Coast. I'll back up the underdogs when it comes to it. I'll back them up.
I don't know, because we've got Liam Ryan out with a hammy.
That's true. But then, like I said, not one man makes a team either. But it'll be very interesting.
Brockman's out for 2 weeks on a concussion.
And he's one of your main players, I'm assuming.
Again, yes. Petrocelli's still in, which is great. He's our runner. McGovern's still in. Who else? Got Darling.
He's a brother of Mitch Burgo and Carlton.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who else? Who else? I just don't know. It's just like I said, I gotta do more research, but half of them is probably going to be my tips anyway. But moving on.
Yes, you've got a birthday coming up.
Yes,
Little Bubba.
My daughter's first birthday on Thursday.
Oh, the first birthday.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
You excited about that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm excited because it's her first birthday. As I do with all my kids, they get their first piece of gold from mummy on their first birthday.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to her birthday party on the Saturday.
Okay.
All these people in our lives that say, you just let us know when and we'll rock up. And once again, my kids, I'm just glad it's on a first birthday where she won't remember it and not on a significant birthday where she'll be hurt. I'm sick and tired of these people. Like, if yous are going to fucking make promises like that to people, make sure you go through with it when it happens, because you expect us to come to your fucking events and your fucking parties and shit, and then you don't do the same in reverse, and it gets really painful. And
it would definitely.
It's not just painful. It's financial. Like, in today's finance, like, just don't. It's a shit thing to do, mate. And I've already said to my husband, like, I'm done. We're not doing birthday parties after this. And so somebody said, oh, you only gave us a week's notice. No. Okay, for my first ever baby shower, my one and only baby shower I've ever had,
yeah,
I spent well over $1,500 that day, on $700 on prizes alone for games. I spent time during those games. I gave people 3 months' notice, and then half an hour before it was meant to start, 30 people pulled out.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Oh, see, that's what we're saying, guys. Like, that's what she's saying.
Money down the fucking drain. My 30th was $1,200 of alcohol and food that I personally cooked on my birthday for people to come for my 30th. After all the times growing up as a kid where people didn't rock up, and then this amount and people not to come. Like, there was a handful.
Yeah.
But it's just, majority of it was my family.
Yeah. See, I gave up after my 21st. I gave up.
But the thing is my husband has a 30th down there where they can just snap down. Yep, they're there. He has an event. They come for him. His wedding day. It wasn't my wedding day. It was his. They come for him.
Yeah.
My kids and me, they don't bother. Fuck you. When I'm not going down there no more. If they've got a birthday party or whatever, they can fucking suck my imaginary cock, mate. They can get fucked. I am done. I am fucking done. I don't want the drama. I don't want the bullshit. People knew about my birthday, my 30th, for weeks to a month, 2 months notice at least.
Yeah.
They still didn't. So what's the difference between 1.5, 2 weeks and 3 months? You still wouldn't have come down for us. Still wouldn't make the time or effort. I'm so close to cancelling it.
Yeah. Well, all I can say to those people who do that is this. Now, time for rant. Wrong button. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Fucked. Fuck off.
Yeah. Get fucked. Fuck off. Don't fucking come messaging me in my inbox like, oh, are you talking about me? Bitch, if the shoe fits, wear it. Okay?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. That is exactly fucking right. So to those people who do that shit, you can get fucked. Simple as that.
100%. I'm just so over it. I'm not. I'd rather it happen now. Like I said, when Ava won't remember it.
Exactly.
When she'll remember it. All these people that want to be seen as family and be called auntie and uncle, but you're not even making yourself present like that. Like, piss off.
Exactly.
But anyway, moving on. I will make sure she has a good birthday party.
Well, that's it. That's the whole thing.
When people wonder why we stop coming around, they'll know.
Sure. It's all on them, isn't it?
Yep.
Really, when it comes
to
it.
It's not my fault. I'm always the one rocking up for them. And that's what I said to my husband. I said, I'm not getting my kids babysat for me, and you can go up there with a bunch of snot-nosed cunts that won't bother making the same trip for us. And we've got more kids. One of them special needs. We've got more responsibility to have to leave or organise to get up there to see them, and yet they don't want to make the effort for us. Nah, get fucked.
Now.
Sorry, continue. It might as well have been a fucking rant. I think you did push the right button by accident.
Probably, but you know how it is. Sorry, guys, I've got multiple sounds and systems here, so I've got to try and keep up with everything here.
Technical difficulties.
But
the podcast you're listening to is having technical difficulties. We will be back with you in a moment.
But
suck my imaginary cock.
But talking about the podcast, guys, we have had a lot of people like our Facebook page. We appreciate every single one of you who have liked it. It's really been taken off.
Yes, we love seeing it. We love seeing it, and we want to see you interacting. Say hello, have a message. Like, let us know if you want us to try anything. Like, just message us, interact with us.
Yes, please.
We want to talk to you.
Yes, we want to talk.
We have Google Translate for a reason. If you don't speak English, then write in your native language,
and we will translate.
And to some of our German listeners out there, like, my son's learning German in school currently, so maybe I'll give it to him to have a read of as part of his homework.
Well, that's it too. But yeah, no, we really appreciate everyone who's liking the page and just
Guten Morgen to Germans.
And but our TikToks are going really good. I've posted a video of us, or 2 videos of us with our podcast and that type of stuff to advertise it. That's been hitting.
Yes, I saw them. I'm pretty sure I reposted 1 or 2 of them as well.
You probably have. I don't know. Should be right.
They looked really good. One thing I would say is, instead of adding music into it, why don't you add our intro music into it?
Well, I probably could do that. I probably could remake that video. And
no, just do another one.
I'll put another one on. Fucking why not?
Yeah, why not? Who gives a fuck?
That's exactly right. But we have got some music playlists that we are getting really onto, and I will say this to you right now, guys. On the way home from the rugby, I played that playlist, and I'm telling you right now, I've got a bit of a story to tell you. I was going through the playlist, and I had my nephew.
Mumsy was not impressed with me.
And she said, what's the playlist you're putting on, man? I said, I'm putting on our podcast playlist. I want to test it out, see what it's like on the travels and that type of thing. It's going to be pretty good. Oh, okay. The first fucking song that comes up, Breath.
Oh, breathe.
Breathe, sorry.
Yeah.
Breathe or breath. Breathe. Your fucking
Breathe by Skits Craven.
Your fucking selection.
Yes, by Skip Craven. He's very, very good. Remember, guys, it's from one of the previous episodes. It's a great song for when you're getting sexual in the bedroom, when he's going downstairs into your kitchen.
Yes, and that came on the first fucking Killer Push shuffle, and that one came up, and Mum just looked at me while I was driving. I'm just thinking, fuck. The first fucking song.
Shit. Do I change it or do I let it go? Fuck.
I said, oh, shit, yeah, hang on a minute. Wrong song. And I just skipped that one pretty damn fucking quick, and then Mum turned around and she said...
That's a bit fucking awkward, like...
and then Mum turned around and she said, no, put it back on. And I said, oh, fuck, okay. Listen to the whole song, and she said, now, Matt, what the fuck was that all about? And I said, oh, that's just our selection. We choose songs, put on the podcast so everyone else can hear. And she said, did you choose that song? I said, no, Amanda did. Oh, that bloody girl, I tell you what. Oh, jeez. Yeah, what Mum was like. She was hilarious. She was cracking up about it.
That sounds like a bit of a shit show.
But mate, the playlist was fantastic because it was about a 3.5 hour drive, and it was great. It was absolutely fantastic to listen to. Great music to listen to on the road. So make sure you pay attention to that, guys. Now I know.
Be careful with the children in the car.
Yes, for fuck's sake, be very careful in the children in the car when you listen to that type of music. But the rest of it is pretty good. But fuck, come on, it's a playlist that we've personally chosen, and it's good music. Now, when it comes to notifications about the podcast, go onto our Facebook and you'll see all notifications, all videos that we do, all events that we go to, that type of shit, and we just post everything on there. We post everything, the food that we're reviewing, and everything like that. So. It's
yes, but also if you just want to make it a bit easier, guys, make sure you press that plus sign on our page. That subscribing to us is 100% free currently. Yes. I reckon that we hit at least 50 episodes and people are really liking us. So get in now while it's cheap and free, and you don't have to pay shit all. Well, actually, nothing. You don't have to pay nothing to listen to it. Make sure you press that plus sign, guys. It is completely free. There's no subscription fee to listen to us and get notified of when we post a new episode.
But if you would like to donate to us, my PayPal's on the details. So just even give us $1.
Yeah, look, it's all voluntary, guys. Like, if there's a particular food you want us to review, make sure you put a note on there. You could say, hey, try this. I've tried it, and I think blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever you want.
Yeah, even if you want to chuck $1 on there, it doesn't matter. It's supporting us, so we don't mind if it's $1. We don't care. It's just...
Yeah, because we've got new things coming up. We've got new things coming up in this episode, don't we?
Oh, fucking oath we do. Like, we've got a lot of new segments coming up, so it's going to be pretty good. But we have got a very specific topic that we're talking about, a very important topic to talk about, and I'm going to hand it over to Amanda Psycho for our first topic.
So, our first topic is on cerebral palsy, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it a few times. So, I have a daughter who is special needs. My daughter has a form of cerebral palsy. We saw a TikTok video of a woman who was in the box live along with someone random who turned out to be wheelchair bound and have a form of cerebral palsy. And she went on a tangent belittling him and then accused him of faking his disability. She has since apologised. Please don't go for her. But she did state that she is trying to educate herself. Now, that leads me into the factual stats, people. So, source of my factual stats come from www.birthinjuryhelpcenter.org. It has the latest up-to-date information worldwide as of September 2023. From the website, it states, cerebral palsy is one of the most common movement disorders in the world. Prevalence rates outside of the US states range from as low as 1.5 to as high as 4 per 1,000 live births. That's
a big number.
Oh,
that's a massive number.
But the thing about that number, Matt, is that it's not 4 per 10 million. It's not 4 per million. It's not 4 per 100,000. It's 4 per 1,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than what anyone probably have realised.
Exactly. Very true.
The rate of cerebral palsy is believed to be significantly higher in less developed countries with the lower standard of medical care. You see, shit like this, I really get pissed off with shit like this. Like, they're a low it's my brain just fucking fried. Less developed countries with low standard medical care. That's like saying cerebral palsy is more common in rural areas of the country of Australia. Fuck yeah, because there's not many fucking doctors out there that will go live out there. Exactly. And deal with all the bullshit, okay? And the less developed countries with lower standard of medical care, what do you expect? That there's not going to be CP when there's next to no fucking doctors? There's not enough doctors out there to get to these births. And
no money either to actually bring them in too.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the fat cats. But anyway, moving on.
Oh, yeah.
Over 760,000 people in the US are currently living with cerebral palsy. That's a big number. About 65% of these people are under the age of 18. That's a big fucking number. Okay, demographics. That's fucking
huge.
Cerebral palsy is more common in boys than girls, would you believe? Boys are 3.6 per 1,000 and girls at 2.5 per 1,000. Now, remember, guys, this is from their website, so if you want to check it out, remember what I said, www.birthinjuryhelpcentre.org.
And the links are going to be on the Facebook.
Will be listed on our Facebook, yes. Cerebral palsy rates are higher in black children than white children, with Asians having the lowest rate. See, I'm not even going to read these stats out.
So, yeah, this is bullshit how they do this.
I
hate it. I fucking hate it.
Here I am reading off the fucking site, and I'm sick of this. Why does it fucking matter? Why does it matter whether they're black, white, Hispanic, or Asian? It's children. They don't see the fucking colour. Why are we putting it in the statuses?
The fucking humans. The human beings are not fucking identified.
Yeah, but the thing is that these people that are predominantly government-based fucking websites and shit are basically pointing out that they're not looking after the communities that don't have more doctors in their areas. You've just proven it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly fucking right. That's exactly.
And you've just proven that your fucking medical section in the US, in wherever in the world, is failing that size of the community. Well, if you guys are curious about your particular race, colour, culture, go to the website and check yourself. I'm not going to read those stats out. I'm sick of people doing this shit.
Exactly.
Moving on. There are 4 different types of cerebral palsy, each with its own unique type of movement disorders. Spastic, hang on, my glasses. Dyskinetic, ataxic, and mixed. Spastic cerebral palsy is further broken down into subtypes based on the area of the body affected. Hence my daughter, which I'll get into in a minute. Spastic cerebral palsy is by far the most common type of cerebral palsy. Approximately 77% of all cerebral palsy cases are classified as spastic. Dyskinetic cerebral palsy accounts for about 5% of all cerebral palsy cases. Ataxic is the least common at only 3% of all cerebral palsy cases. The remaining cases of cerebral palsy fall into the mixed category. Cerebral palsy is caused by developmental abnormalities or damage to the developing brain, causing impairment of the brain's ability to control body movement. The brain damage that results in cerebral palsy typically occurs during pregnancy or childbirth. The CDC estimates that 90% of all cerebral palsy cases are the result of damage to the brain occurring during pregnancy or childbirth. Other statistics demonstrate clear risk factors. The highest quality, most reliable statistics on cerebral palsy come from two sources. The ADDM, the primary for people who are advocating for special needs people, why do you have to make the acronyms for these companies make normal people sound like spastics when they're saying it? The Adam.
Oh no, we're just bloody making the names how we've actually done in the long version. Well, fucking choose different words, mate.
Choose different words, yes. The primary source for macro-level statistics about cerebral palsy in the US is the Autism and Development Disability Monitoring Network. That is funded by the federal government and administered by the Centers for Disease Control, CDC. The has 14 location sites that track the number and characteristics of children's development disabilities, including cerebral palsy. Give me a second.
There's a lot to read here, guys. There's a lot to read.
The scoop. So this is scope without an O. Scoop. The European counterpart to is the surveillance of cerebral palsy in Europe, the SCOOP network. The main aim of the SCOOP network is to develop a central database of cerebral palsy cases across Europe. The SCOOP data goes back to the 1980s and includes detailed tracking information from over 6,000 children with cerebral palsy from 13 geographically defined populations in Europe. So that one's very, very thorough.
Oh, yes, it is.
Very
fucking much so.
So that's from another source from the www.cerebralpalsyguidance.com. The economic stats for children with cerebral palsy. Medical costs are around 10 times higher for children with cerebral palsy. Medical costs are around 26 times higher for children with cerebral palsy who have an intellectual disability. Total lifeline care costs to take care of children with cerebral palsy exceeds $1 million average.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking money.
Absolutely.
And we're probably talking, what, USD, like US money? So that's probably nearly double.
I'm guessing so. They're basing a lot of their factual information off of US dollars. So yeah.
So what's that in Australian? Fucking probably nearly two point something million, I suppose.
No. I think currently the American dollar is trading a little bit more than now, so it's roughly the same.
Yeah. But it's still a lot of fucking money.
Range.
Still a lot of fucking money. And the way how the medical system works over in America, like we're going to put you in a little bit of a spotlight here, America, but sorry to say to the listeners, but your medical system is fucked. It's fucked. Fucked. And like even if you, like just the top of my head, if you wanted to have a baby in America, it is literally insane. I think it's like nearly $50,000 to $100,000 that you actually could have a baby.
Oh no! Minimum $10,000.
Yeah, well, at least. But you got to pay like nearly $20,000 for medication. You got to pay $15,000 for the room. You got to pay freaking say $30,000 for doctors and shit. The actual average when it comes to having any type of operation, you got to pay for every single fucking thing that you've actually got to bloody do, like bed, the medications you take home, the doctors, the nurses, everything like that. You have to pay for all that shit. Like just alone for a major operation, you can go for about $500,000 just for an operation because, like I just said, you got to pay for every single fucking detail when it comes to actually having an operation.
Oh, but their insurance pays for it.
Oh, fuck off. Insurance only pays about a quarter of it. Okay, let's just say that you had an operation that was $100,000. to my knowledge,
I do it at home myself.
well, that's the whole thing. A lot of people go through fucking pain and misery and agony just so they don't go to the fucking doctors, and they lead to the streets and they get medications off the streets or get dodgy doctors from off the street to do the operation like that. But let's just say that your operation was $100,000. If you got pretty good insurance, that'll only cover 20 grand. That's top of my head. You've still got over what? $70,000-$80,000 you still got to fucking pay? The medical system over there is completely fucked.
All I know is that like we're pretty comfy with our medical system. Like, yeah, everyone pays a certain what is it, like under 10% of our tax every year.
Yeah,
goes to goes to Medicare.
Yeah, it's about 10-15 around there. Yeah, around
yeah,
there.
about that. Something
about
like
that.
Maybe even something lower than that, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
probably yeah.
Yeah, everyone pays that, and everyone pays, I think, 1 or 2% towards the pharmaceutical benefit scheme, so that everything's cheap for everyone. So when you go into the hospital, like, I can't imagine being in America, going into emergency department and having to pay like upwards of $500 to be seen, because it's an emergency.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is that I've talked to people, because I've got a lot of mates over in America on TikTok and that. I've actually asked them, what's the go when you want to go to hospital? What's the go if you want to go and see a doctor? Well, if you want to go to hospital, they actually asked you if you've actually got insurance. If you have got no insurance whatsoever, they actually say to you, no, sorry, you got no insurance, you have to go, you have to leave the premises right now.
Yeah.
Even though, oh shit, my arm's hanging off or my hand's hanging off.
Yeah, no, they're
They don't even bother. They don't even fucking bother.
You can walk through the street around here in Australia with your arm hanging off, and every other fucking person's a paramedic or a nurse. I'll help you. I fucking help.
Like we can go into like, just say for example that I had a heart condition and I had to have an operation. I can go in there, get the heart operation done. All things are all being paid. Everything's being fucking paid. I think all we have to pay is medications, isn't it? Medications and something else. There's something else you have to pay as well.
No. Yes and no. So when it comes to heart conditions,
as example, people, because
Stuart, he had a heart condition. Didn't have to pay for a thing for that. My mum, when she had her heart attacks, blah blah blah, because of her heart conditions.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to be careful of is having ambulance cover here, which is like cost me about $21 a week.
Yeah.
To cover me and my entire family for emergency ambulance cover.
Yeah. Well, me or other people who are on Centrelink is all included.
Besides that, like, there's ways you can work around it. Like, if you didn't call the ambulance specifically and somebody else called them for you, it's actually on them to pay for the ambulance, blah, blah, blah. But, no, she didn't have to pay for her pills, because all the hospitals have in-house pharmacies that they set you up with your medication, and then they set you up with a script to take to your local pharmacist to make sure they have the pills on board. And then everything after that, it just, you pay for what you pay for outside of the hospital.
And really, when it comes to it too, like my mum, she's got heart pills, cholesterol, all that shit, diabetes pills, all that shit too. When she has to go and get her pills, it only costs her like about $80, something like that. For me, it's only like about $17 or something like that. When I was on the injection, which I'm not on anymore for my diabetes, because I found out that actual medication's pretty fucking bad for you.
Well, they're all good for you at the start until they're bad. Pharmacies don't create cures; they create customers, Matt.
Exactly.
That's what shits me up the wall.
And like that one injection,
that's another subject.
That's probably another rant. That's a rant. That's definitely a fucking rant.
Yeah, eventually get the track,
but when it comes, we'll stay on course, and with this cerebral palsy topic, and you would definitely agree with this, how little it's actually spoken about. there's nothing really much out there when it comes to it.
Well, the thing is with Skylar, because of the amount of appointments she has, which we've been able to downgrade, and the technically surgeries, she has the Botox injections by her rehab and urologist doctor 6 monthly to loosen the muscles in her legs. That doesn't cost us a thing. Her emergency medication, midazolam, for her seizures, they don't cost. No, they do. Cost me $20. That is only because that one is a high-risk emergency medication that you fill it once, and that medication only expires once you open the packet.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it starts the expiry date from that day when it's exposed to light and heat. But because it's a high-risk emergency seizure medication, we have to pay a small amount.
Yeah.
And we opted to pay that little extra to get it mailed to us directly.
Yeah. Well, some medications do cost a bit of money, but most of it's...
Well, yeah, but, I mean, you look at Skylar's regular seizure medication that she takes twice a day, costs us $6.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. But if you go to America, it'll probably cost you $600. You know, it'll cost you
and the rest.
Amount. And the rest, yeah.
And the rest. Right, but back on subject with Skylar.
Yeah.
Now, I said I'd get back into it. Skylar has a certain form of cerebral palsy. When it comes to cerebral palsy, the whole reason we're bringing this up is because it just doesn't get fucking spoken about.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't get fucking spoken about at all.
No, fuck all.
And I don't think it gets spoken about enough for people to understand how to treat somebody with cerebral palsy.
Exactly.
Like, they're not come to me if you like. They're not fucking retards, okay?
Exactly.
They're an intelligent human being stuck inside a body that doesn't move how they want it to.
Exactly right.
Simple as that.
Exactly right. Most definitely.
Like Skylar, I love that girl to bits. She is the smartest girl going, but she knows how to play people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People look at her because they look at her exterior and they think, oh, poor girl this and poor Skylar that. Nah, she just manipulated the fuck out of you, boy.
Yeah.
She knows what buttons to press. She knows how to make you her own little puppet. She is a very intelligent little girl. She knows exactly what she's doing. But because of the cerebral palsy, her brain, it's the best way I was explained is when you want your thumb to move, you tell in your brain, you say, move thumb, and you say wiggle thumb, and your thumb will wiggle back and forth. But if you were to say to Skylar, wiggle your thumb, she'd look at her thumb and her wrist would move instead. So when the signal comes from the brain and it comes down, it fucks off somewhere else.
Yeah.
It doesn't, the signal does not go where it's meant to go.
Exactly.
And sometimes, in some particular cerebral palsy cases, it doesn't go there because there's nothing there. It's paralysed.
Yeah.
Some cerebral palsy cases are paraplegics, quadriplegics, hemiplegics, hemiplegics, quadriparetic.
There's so many different forms there, guys. There really is. There's so many. So many.
Like Skylar. Now, Skylar is the way she is because her biological mother, she was hitting the gear a bit too fucking hard during her pregnancy, and Skylar was born at 24 weeks gestation into the pregnancy. And what we think happened is there was a stroke inside the womb.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
Because of the drugs. And it caused a brain bleed. in Skylar. So when they pulled her out, there was only a 85% non-survival rate.
Yeah, which is
so there was only about 10-15% survival rate.
Which is pretty high. That's pretty high.
Yeah. Most children born at 24 weeks don't make it.
Unfortunately, but it's just one of those things.
Skylar made it. She had what did they call it? Subdural hematoma.
Ah, okay.
She had a subdural hematoma? Basically, yeah, she had a bleed in the brain, and where she had the bleed in the brain, they didn't operate and they didn't do anything because they wanted to see if it was going to clot out itself and it was going to stop, which it did. But the part of the brain where the bleed is what caused the cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
It was on that particular part of the brain that controls movement.
So basically the nerve endings and the what's that fucking thing? Yeah, it's one of those things anyway with the brain.
Yeah, right. And on top of that, her being born so early, she had undeveloped lungs, so she has chronic lung disease as part of one of her conditions. Being born so early, she is also born with a condition called retinopathy of prematurity. She had to have laser eye surgery done at 8 weeks gestation, 8 weeks of being earthbound, to reattach her retina that was detaching itself because of her prematurity.
Yep.
So she has permanent scarring in her peripheral visions. Her eyesight will continually decline until it either stops or she's just blind. Currently, you know how we have a 20/20 vision. Not me and you, because we're blind as fucking bats.
Yeah.
We need glasses 24/7.
Yeah, most definitely.
But, well, Skylar's a minus 17.5.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, she's a minus 17.5.
So
that's her prescription, minus 17.5.
So it's a very high chance that she could possibly go blind later on in life. Is that right?
If we get any more progression, yes.
Yeah. So
on top of that, because she was born so early, she had a form of hip dysplasia called asymmetrical hip dysplasia. That we've actually solved that, and that comes from walking. So we've managed to get her walking all these years, and that has compressed the hips and the ball joints of the legs joining into the hips back into place, so she doesn't have the hip dysplasia anymore. She also has a form of global development delay that we downgraded from moderate, gauging her 2.5 years behind in her age development, to a mild, which she only gauges 11 months behind in her development, and that was the last reading when she was 5.
Yeah.
And she's turning 9 this year, so that could be, we don't know. Next year we should be able to find out if we can get rid of the chronic lung disease tag on her or not.
Yep.
Because the thing with chronic lungs disease is you can't reassess them until the age of 10, because the holes that are in the lungs, if they stay as small as they are while the lung develops larger, and they stay as small as they were from that age of birth, then that means that you can remove the tag of chronic lung disease. Whereas as her body and her lung size has grown with her body, and those tiny large holes for her age at that time have grown in size along with her lungs, that means that she permanently will have that tag of chronic lung disease, which means she is immune compromised to things like COVID. Knock on wood, we have not had her. Like, I've had COVID, hubby's had COVID, some of the kids have had COVID. She has not. Okay, so that's a good thing. Then finally, a final little tag in there before we get into the cerebral palsy. And this is the thing that people need to understand with cerebral palsy is all of these other things that come with it. It's not just the cerebral palsy. There's a lot of different factors here. Now, the other factor of Skylar, which has taken us up to age 9 to figure out, has a form of epilepsy.
Yeah.
Now, for 9 years, we could not fucking figure out what was causing it.
Right.
We took her for the EEGs and we couldn't find a trigger. It wasn't light triggered. It wasn't it wasn't triggered. But every time she got sick, major febrile convulsions, major tonic-clonics, huge seizures, unresponsive, half responsive, choking on her own saliva, vomiting, aspirating, being transported in the ambulance as a level 1, no pain response. You know, it was just...
It was up there.
Dangerous.
It was pretty
Yeah,
up there.
like heart rates of 187 with oxygen rates of less than 60%. You know, it's...
Which is pretty dangerous.
It's been a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then there's, you know, the trileptal to the Keppra medication. Then the medication comes with its own side effects, but we'll get into that a different time.
Yeah.
But we finally figured out, because I checked with a neurologist, it turns out another part of cerebral palsy is, for some children, the inability to sweat.
And see, that's pretty fucking dangerous too. That's real dangerous.
Yes, and, you know, you think about it, she's sick, she's got a temp, she can't sweat it out.
Exactly.
That's your body's natural cooling system. And she wasn't coping. So, I mean, I even had to battle with the nurses. They're like, 37 degrees is not that bad of a temperature. And I'd say, no, her temp is always 36.4, always 36.4 degrees Celsius. And if it goes anything above that, she's got a temperature. And they're like, no. I'm telling you she's got a temperature. They come back and it's up 5 notches already.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you don't give her any Panadol or Nurofen in the next 5 minutes, she's going to have cluster seizures on you. And I'm going to talk to your boss about not listening to me.
Exactly.
Like, you name it, right? So she'd have that, or too much physical exertion, or being in the sun for too long. She'd always end up with these seizures, or hot days, or long days where she's just tired. She'd just have these seizures. And then, like I said, we finally figured it out. And now her hormones have kicked in and she's starting to progress in puberty. She's sweating again. Hallelujah. So we haven't, knock on wood, had a seizure in over a year. So we're managing it really fucking well.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Skylar's particular cerebral palsy, we are downgrading it from a hemiplegic to a hemiparetic, because Skylar, from a lot of hard work from her and me and motivation, we have got her walking independently in small, short ways, but we've still got it independent walking without a mobility aid, which means she's not hemiplegic. Hemiplegic meaning she is left side paralyzed permanently. Yeah. Hemiparetic meaning she is one side partial weakness.
Right.
Which we are slowly fixing through PT and OT. So Skylar is a hemiparetic cerebral palsy with a 3-limb spasticity. Now, the spasticity is in her left arm and both her legs. Spasticity comes in a form of shuddering. Some people think spastic, they think, and it's not. It's when you go to take a step, you go heel to toe, whereas a cerebral palsy person, say for instance, who has spasticity in their foot, would go toe, and as they come down into their heel, they'd have a sudden shuddering effect where it would look like they're shaking, but it's actually like the tone and everything throughout their legs that's preventing them from walking like everyone else would learn to walk. And again, it's a part of the rewiring of the brain to stop the spasticity, right?
Exactly.
So like I said, if you want to know about a person with cerebral palsy, ask them about their specific condition and ask them more in detail about it. Like, how does that affect you? How does that work?
Yeah.
Ask them more details, right?
Yeah.
Now, the stereo fucking types around it is just... Don't even get me started. Oh, I feel so sorry. It's the one thing I can't fucking stand. The one thing I can't fucking stand. People taking pity on them.
Mm.
Don't take pity on my daughter.
Yeah.
I don't take pity on her. The learned helplessness that you're teaching my daughter right now, saying, poor her, that's not the way the world works. Once she grows up into an adult, you're not going to look at her like that again. Once she's not a little girl and she's an adult walking like that, you're not going to go, oh, poor her. You're going to go, what the fuck is wrong with him? What the fuck is wrong with her?
Exactly.
Why are they walking like that? So stop treating the children that way. Just talk to them like they're normal fucking human beings.
Exactly. Most
Treat
definitely.
them like normal human fucking beings. For the love of God. I just, it's something that everyone tells me is that, wow, you just, with everything that you've told me your daughter's got, this is not what I expected. When they meet her and she's just, it doesn't matter if she's crawling predominantly.
Yeah.
She'll crawl straight up to you and go, hi, my name's Skylar. What's your name? She'll have a full conversation with you. Doctors told us she wouldn't walk. She wouldn't talk. She wouldn't be able to do nothing for herself. Look at her now. She won't shut the fuck up. She never shuts the fuck up.
Well, the whole thing is, guys, too, is that if you wrap your kids up or wrap anyone up in cotton wool and then expose them into the world, it's something that if you wrap them up in cotton wool and you bring them out into the world, you got to remember one thing. The world is a very dark and cold place. It really is. Like everyone will say that the world is such a fucking a bright place and you can do whatever you want. I'm sorry, but that's not right. The world is a very cold place and they don't give a fuck who you are or what you are. If they find something that's wrong with you, they will tell you and they will pick on you. They will bag you out. They will pick on you. They will degrade you. They will belittle you. They'll do whatever. So when it comes to it, don't wrap them up.
Yeah, but you see, I don't get that. I don't get that. Some conditions people make fun of you. Some conditions they don't.
Yeah.
If you're going to make fun of one group, make fun of the whole lot.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. That's the
it's
whole
like
fucking
ADHD.
thing.
The whole shit around ADHD, despite where we are today, is still in the dark ages.
Oh, a lot of the things that we talk about or what we discuss or whatever like that is in the fucking dark ages. A lot of the things that goes on the
Everyone
world.
talks about equality this and Me Too movements that. What about... Oh, okay, different. That's a different time. We're not going to side quest. We're staying on this. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up about cerebral palsy is the judgment within the community.
Oh, yeah. And that's probably kind of what we're talking about now is, mate, it's shocking. It really is.
It's literally oldies against youngs.
It is.
Like the older people, and say what you want, but you can see it in the special needs community. The amount of, like, I'm talking old ladies that look like grandmas that are actually these people's parents. And they're looking down at us young ones. Younger mums, in their opinion. looking down their noses at us, won't talk to us. We are completely isolated. Or you get into the forums where it's a bunch of parents with children with cerebral palsy, and if you, or a bunch of children with special needs, and you put your 2 cents worth in, they are immediately on you. You'd think in a community of special needs and judgment, you'd think they'd be nicer. They're not.
Some of them can be fucking quite cruel.
Oh, they're fucking idiots. As soon as you say, oh, I don't let my daughter do that, like I just tell her to get on with it. Or I let my daughter, why would you do that? Don't you know that this could happen or that could happen? Yeah, so could this. Who gives a shit?
It's like the old saying, don't throw stones at glass houses.
Mate, that just brings me back to the learned helplessness. They teach their kids learned helplessness. It's only learned in the last couple of years. That's what that is called, learned helplessness. The way I used to explain it is, you want to treat your kid like a special needs dickhead, they'll act like a special needs fuckwit.
Well, it's actually very similar to...
You want to treat them like a retard, they'll act like a retard, okay? If you're not going to teach them they're no different to anyone else, it's a disability, okay? Or disabled, right? That's what people call it, disability or disabled. It's not. It's a different ability or differently abled.
Exactly.
Simple.
Well, it's like with me, I couldn't talk. I couldn't really interact with anyone. The doctors actually told my mother.
Still to this day, there's some words you struggle with. I don't fucking get shitty at you. I let you get through it. I don't judge you for it. I just go, no, you can do it. And you go, no. And I go, no, you can do it. I'm waiting. Come on.
Yeah, she does do that, guys. She is actually helping me out with a lot of words, a lot of big words. And I do jumble up with the words all the time.
Skylar, there's no point crying about it because you haven't tried. Okay? And if you don't try, you don't make a mistake. If you don't make a mistake, you don't learn how to do it properly.
Exactly.
How do you know if you don't try? And
that's the thing too out these days, is that no one's actually putting that logic out there.
No, nobody is. Nobody's just pushing people anymore. There's no more push. Oh, I'm pushing too far, otherwise they'll get fucking anxiety. Fucking bullshit.
The anxiety bullshit, yeah. That shit is getting a bit out of control. That is like having a mental day, or I can't do this because it's my anxiety. Again, different time, Matt, because we could be, do you know what? I think our next episode should be like a bitch fest. We should just call it a bitch fest for our next episode. This episode is definitely all about the cerebral palsy, and that it should be spoken about more. Yeah. But our next episode, stay tuned, guys. We're going to have a bitch fest. We're going to have a little list about this, that, and the other, and whatever tangent we got, have fun.
Go on it.
We're going to have fun.
So all you ADHD fucks out there, join the fucking ride. Strap the fuck in. Stick us on in the background. Do your cleaning. Because I tell you what, as an ADHD person, it got me fucking cleaning, listening to my own fucking voice. I was like, fuck this bitch. But moving on, right, let me just put this last bit of information out there, right? Cerebral palsy can cause numerous other medical conditions known as secondary conditions, just like I was talking about, associated conditions or co-mitigating factors. Behavioural problems are common in children with cerebral palsy, including social skill problems, anger issues, and behaviour issues in school. Here's a clue, guys. If you don't treat them like fuckwits, they won't have that. If you treat them like any other normal child and give them a timeout, yes, you give provisions to them and say, right, say, for instance, my eldest son, right? Teaching him please and thank you, you'd think after the first couple of times of saying, no, you got to say please and thank you, he'd learn it, right? Yeah. But for children with special needs and have other mitigating factors or secondary conditions, you give them a little bit longer. You got to sound more like a broken record. But, and this is something that goes into those other rants that I've had about schools not teaching these fucking kids. If you don't teach your kid accountability, it doesn't matter if they're special needs or not. If you don't teach them fucking accountability, they will use it.
Exactly.
They'll use it and they'll abuse it. They always say, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and that's what special needs kids do.
Exactly.
Okay? You've got to set clear boundaries, routine, discipline, and consistency.
And patience, I would nearly say that too.
RCD, my 3. RCD, routine, consistency, and discipline. Okay? Those, just remember that. Anyway, moving on. Some children with cerebral palsy may experience cognitive impairments, including low attention span, poor concentration skills, problem-solving deficiencies, and learning and language issues. Around 41% of children with cerebral palsy in the United States have some degree of cognitive impairment. Yes, Skylar has a cognitive impairment, but with a little patience, a little consistency, and a little discipline, she's getting there. Despite all of these fucking list of issues that they give you from the doctors, don't take it with a pinch of salt. Don't take it literally. Don't look at your fucking life like it's gone down the fucking drain. Live your life. Exactly. You do you, boo. Involve them in everything. Don't, live for their strengths, not for their weaknesses. Okay? Just roll with that. Digestive health issues may be a problem for some children with cerebral palsy. This typically occurs when children have difficulties with face muscle control, leading to problems with eating, chewing, and swallowing. Right? Skylar was more of a texture issue, but I digress. I got her over that quick. It was eat what you're given or you don't eat at all. And guess what? She eats what the fuck she's given. Pain is often associated with cerebral palsy, including orthopedic pain, gastrointestinal pain, and rehabilitative pain related to physical therapy exercise. Because did you know that cerebral palsy children, Matthew, use 3 times the amount of muscles in one movement than the average human?
Really?
Because they have to really think, and because of that muscle memory and signal mix, they end up using more muscles in their movements.
Exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But a bunch firing off, right? Vision and hearing issues may accompany cerebral palsy, but it generally depends on how severe the disorder is. Children with cerebral palsy are at a heightened risk for skin problems and disorders, including allergic reactions, minor skin issues, and involuntary skin scratching. Again, discipline, guys. You tell them, you speak to them normally. Stop scratching. Skylar was at such a bad point of drooling because of the school. They just let her. She was that bad with her drooling, they were going to put a bib on her all day at school. All it took was one school holidays and me saying, Skylar, close your mouth, Skylar, close your mouth, Skylar, close your mouth. Swallow, 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 close your mouth, swallow, close your mouth, swallow. That's all it took. By the time rolled around to the new year, she wasn't drooling anymore and hasn't since.
Exactly.
Seizures are a commonly associated disorder of cerebral palsy and can range from mild to extremely severe. Some children with cerebral palsy suffer from dysphagia, a severe oral motor dysfunction that requires regular monitoring. Autism associated with cerebral palsy in the United States affects about 3.1 to 3.6 children per 1,000, according to a study. Around 60% of 8-year-old children with cerebral palsy will have a developmental disability. Orthopedic issues cause numerous problems for children with cerebral palsy, including poor balance, poor muscle tone, poor posture, and poor reflexes. Again, people, this study goes off of parents that have just given up. Embrace, that's my biggest advice, embrace being a special needs mum. When they say she'll never walk, she'll never talk, say, watch me. Watch me.
Never give
Treat
up,
her
guys.
like a normal fucking child. Just go the extra mile for some provisions around your particular case.
Yep.
That's the best advice I can give. Now, if you like all of that information, you want some more information, go to www.cerebralpalsy.org. And as mentioned before, make sure you go to those other 2 websites at Birth Injury Help Center.org. And what was the other one? cerebralpalsyguidance.com. And remember, in the European counterparts, we are looking for SCPE Network, or in the US, if you're looking for help and information for statuses, go to the ADDM network.
And
moving on.
There you go. It's a lot of information there, guys. And there's a lot of help out there with those websites to get some understanding, but also too, if you don't know, ask. If you don't know what's going on, ask. There's nothing wrong.
Just inbox us. Inbox us. You want to ask questions? We'll help you.
Of course, inbox us, and then we'll answer everything that you want to answer or want to ask us or whatever like that. If you want answers, just ask. There's no dumb question out there. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
dumb
speaking of fucking dumb, did you see on the news the other day about that Russia under state of emergency after mystery nuclear attack, Matthew? Oh, fuck, the Soviet Union's at it again.
Now, when it comes to that, I think, well, they're making the same fucking mistakes again. And really, when it comes to it, when the fuck will they ever learn? What the fuck?
It says it appears to have taken a week for the authorities to act. A state of it. It's been. Where is it? Mystery radiation source was today removed and placed in a protective container, transported to a radioactive waste storage facility in the city, the largest in Russia's far east and close to the border with China.
China.
Yet a state of emergency is to remain for at least 3 more days in the industrial district of the city as law enforcement agencies examine the origins of the leak.
Yeah, but the whole fucking thing is, right, is that they're not paying attention to the people they have to pay attention fucking to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fucking Chernobyl all over again, but not as bad, of course, but it's that all over again. They're not paying attention to the people they need to fucking pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that got me a little bit interested in it is that it was high radiation levels near about 2.5 kilometres away from a residential areas. That's a bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, the reader sounded at 0.45 microsieverts, and the highest reading visible on the screen is 5.9. Yet on the video, the man says that there was a reading of 20, enough potentially to increase cancer risk, damage DNA, cause fetal damage, and threaten the health of children. And yet they're all like, oh, nah, it's okay, I reckon.
Well, when it comes to this whole scenario...
Look, it says bullshit. Right here, a boy who made an initial reading on the 28th of March had reported it to the Russian Special Services, yet it was only today a state of emergency was called.
See, that's what I mean.
KGB still in full effect. It was decided to introduce a state of emergency in Khabazvak, or whatever it's called, to carry out work faster. The authorities insisted there was no threat to life. That's what they said about Chernobyl. That's what they said about Chernobyl.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Well, when it comes to Chernobyl, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, so let's move that quickly into what are we going for, Matt?
We are going for rants.
No, we're not going for rants. We said Chernobyl. We are moving into a movie show review. Let's go into the movie show review.
We are doing
what did I tell you that you had to watch?
Well, first off, we have to go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go to the movies. And you told me to watch that series called Chernobyl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this series was fucking believable when it came to
it. It is available on Binge and on all Foxtel streaming. It is a Foxtel specific streaming site.
It's on Showcase. On Foxtel, It's on Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
It literally when I first started watching it, it was unreal because I later found out from Amanda, but also done my own little research. It literally tells minute by minute how everything actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, it was unfucking believable how they just did not give a fuck. They did not take anything seriously. They did not listen to anyone. They didn't give a fuck about who they were hurting. They just didn't care.
Mm-mm.
And they wanted to sweep it all underneath the fucking rug.
Yep.
Come at me if you want. I don't give a fuck. Go and watch the show and you'll find it for yourself. Do your history and you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the top of my head, to my knowledge, that area of Chernobyl could not be livable in, and I think it was about, what, 50,000 years or 20,000 years or something like that?
It's hundreds of thousands of years.
Hundreds of thousands of years. And because they did not give a fuck. They did not run the proper test. They did not listen to the engineers. And the poor bastard who, I'm not going to pronounce his name because it's a Russian name. It's a big name. He said, this is going to happen. This is the reason why this is happening. Why aren't we doing much more about it? And they more or less said, no, you're lying. And why are you spreading these lies? And why are you embarrassing the Soviet Union?
Mm-hmm.
And they hated when people used to lie. They hated when the Soviets used to get really embarrassed. They hated it.
Mm-hmm. It was all hush-hush, mate. It was all, don't embarrass the state. Don't embarrass the state.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Hey, you embarrass yourself.
You embarrass yourself when it comes to your people. And
100%.
how many fucking people either died, they had massive birth defects. I reckon even to this day, they probably still got reports of birth defects.
Or birth deaths.
Stillborns, that type of thing. The amount of people who actually got the radiation, been getting cancers and serious diseases from the radiation.
I would be very surprised if there's anyone still alive to this day.
Really? Well, it happened in, 86?
Something like that, but I'd be very surprised.
And the main thing that actually is very funny, what you said there before about the readings, the readings they had back in the actual factory can only read about 3.5, whatever that thing is, the radiation level.
3.9 Ronkin was the highest rating of the smallest disseminators in the plant, whereas the large-scale disseminators read 5.9 Ronkin, and the large military-style high graphics reading one that they had on the military bus that went through read 1,200 Ronkin per hour.
Yeah, that's per hour. That's like nearly, what did they say? I think about 30 bombs of Hiroshima.
40.
See?
40 Hiroshima-style bombs every hour on the hour.
Now, do you honestly think that you can just get away with that? Do you honestly think people that have nuclear powers and nuclear reactors and that nuclear cores is the most safest option when it comes to our planet, our Earth? Honestly, I reckon that having that is probably one of the most dangerous things that we've ever come across. And it just proves that the nuclear power plants over in Russia still have not fixed up those mistakes they done back in the 80s and back in the 70s. They're still doing it.
What was it? What did they say? Was it 2017 or 2019 that the sarcophagus that sits around the actual nuclear power plant itself now to contain the exposed core still of the meltdown
Of one of the reactors?
of the nuclear core,
Yeah.
right? Was only finalised the building in 2019, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was...
And
It's not going to last 100 years. It's not going to last 100 years.
The other day they had I don't know if it was Hiroshima or was it... No, I think it was not Hiroshima. What was the other one?
Are you talking about the big flood or the big tsunami they had in Japan? Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, is it
Fukushima? I think it is.
Fukushima, right? They had a special drone go down into the reactor space to see the inside of it.
Yeah, well,
and try and decipher what exactly happened from the inside. Well, and yeah, like why aren't they doing that down in there? But anyway,
this is Russia. I'm sorry.
The thing that I've got here says that today just over 100 people still remain in the exclusion zone, and no one else will be allowed to move in due to dangerous levels of radiation. So it still exists. There's still 100 people living inside the exclusion zone. Would you believe?
Well, that's very hard to believe, really, when it comes to it, eh? But
and there's perhaps what they've said, 10% of people 35 years on since the world's worst nuclear disaster that are alive today.
And that's the whole thing with that show, Chernobyl. If you love your history like I do, and if you want to know the true events, what happened on that time, Chernobyl is definitely the show to watch. It is a great show.
Yeah, but don't believe what they say about the 3 divers that died. They're still living today.
Yeah. And also, too, the thing that really got me pissed off with that show is that the blokes, because it was actually at the end of the show, they said about the court case and that, the 3 blokes who actually caused the issue only got 10 years hard labour. 10 years. That was it.
Yeah, but they were severely impacted by cancer.
Well, the bloke who was in the middle, he was one of the engineers or one of the big bosses of the plant, and he died only a few years later. I think it was age 62. I said on the show, and he died of cancer. But the show itself is a great show. It's a fantastic show. And I reckon it's definitely recommended for anyone who wants to know the history of it all. And it's definitely one of those shows I definitely would recommend, for sure.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
But, yeah. But anyway, we shall move on to our next one. And that is the good old rant. You want to start the old rants off?
Completely up to you. Actually, no, you start the rant.
All right. Now, time for rants.
Rants.
We got some rants.
Rants.
Fucking rants.
Fucking psycho bush rant.
Fucking rant. Now, when it comes to rants, I watched this video on Facebook there the other day about kids' lunches. Now, they're saying now that ham is now banned because it's a cured meat and causes bloody diseases and shit like that. You're not allowed to have any chips in the lunchboxes anymore. You're not allowed to have this. You're not allowed to have that. You're only allowed to have freaking celery sticks and carrots and some form of dip or whatever like that. They're giving these kids only water. You're not allowed to have any juice. You're not allowed to have any muesli bars. You're not allowed to have nothing. This is my fucking rant for today. When did it come to the point where we actually literally have to fucking make our kids go to school with literally nothing in their lunchboxes?
From your research, have you seen whether this has anything to do with America as well? Because from what I've seen from America, they don't have this type of bullshit.
No, because they want us as, well, we are becoming, the top of my head and my knowledge that the latest stats that I've seen is that we are becoming one of the obese countries. So now they want all our kids to be skinny and be healthy and all that type of shit. But at the same time,
But I know kids from a young age, around Leo's age, that the doctors kept telling him he's obese, but every single day that kid was walking to and from school.
Yeah.
He was involved in so many extracurricular sports. And he ate nothing but healthy. And since he shot up in height, like you can't gauge children from what they are now. Like, there's some kids that you look at and you're like, okay, Mum,
He's off.
I just need some clarification. Are we having trouble with her? Is she, because it's not always the parents. Sometimes it's the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and sometimes with the way some parents are these days, they just don't know how to say fucking no. But I'm not one to judge. That's how you want to parent, then you parent like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, I mean, you go into the stats of it. They say that children that have at least one parent that's obese have a 50% chance of ending up obese as adults.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well. Oh, well. There's children out there that aren't getting fucking fed.
Exactly.
That are starving.
I went to school with a couple of kids like that. You probably went to school with a couple of kids like that.
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
You didn't? Not one?
Mm-mm. Didn't see any of them.
Well, at my school, there was always at least...
Not that I saw. I was always the one getting picked on, so...
Oh, Jesus, I'm going back a fair way back here now, but when I was in school, I always seen some form of kid not eating, sitting in the corner, eating a piece of bread.
I got made fun of for everything that I brought. Like, my mum and my dad to, like, pinch pennies and save money, used to make their own bread with a bread maker. And for fun, they used to add food dye.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd have different coloured bread until one day my dad used green. And people made fun of me because they thought I had mouldy bread.
Of course.
Because it was green bread.
Yeah, that's all right. Bloody hell. You could even down the lines of Dr. Zeus and have the green bread and eggs and ham.
Oh, well, penicillin. You're good. Move on. Free penicillin.
Yeah, well, that's it too. But so
moving on, I've got some stuff here that you've shown me.
Yes,
right?
I've sent you some stuff. Yeah.
Yes, you have. Now, some of this is just fucking.
Are you looking at the red light, green light thing?
The Australian Guides to Healthy Eating. Blah 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 blah. Only sometimes in small amounts. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're banning music bars and everything.
Here we go. To achieve and maintain a healthy weight, be physically active and choose amounts of nutritious food and drinks to meet your energy needs. Children and adolescents should eat sufficient nutrient foods to grow and develop normally. They should be physically active every day and their growth should be checked regularly. They do anyway, but okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy a wide variety of nutritious foods from these 5 food groups every day. Plenty of vegetables, different types, colours, and legumes and beans. You try and get my kids to eat fucking beans.
Well, this is the question I'd like to ask you as a mother.
As a mother, hang on, let's rephrase that. As a mother of 7.
Yeah. And how old's your oldest and how old's your youngest in school?
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 5, 1.
Right. So let's have a little conversation about this, right? They're saying to these parents that you got to feed them this, right? Now let me ask you this: you reckon your kids would eat it?
Okay, so they're saying you need 5 food groups every day, right?
Yeah.
My kids, they love their yogurt. I've always given them yogurt as a dessert. Milk, they have that with their fucking cereal, so that's fucking easy. Cheese, of course they're going to love cheese, but most of the boys' sandwiches consist of cheese and fucking tomato sauce. That's as much as you're going to get out of them.
Oh, I know.
Like,
you can't have tomato sauce. There's too much sugar. There's too much this. There's too much preservatives. Too much all that shit. You know.
I don't care. Suck my dick.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking
lean
ridiculous.
Meat, poultry, fish, eggs, tofu, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Okay, what was it they said about can't have ham because it sits in your bag and it gets all blah? What about fucking tuna? Gross. Gross. No, thank you. Fucking boiled eggs in your lunchbox out in the hot Australian summer sun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no thanks. Fuck that.
Right. Now, this is the funny thing, right? They've got nuts, seeds, legumes, and beans, right? But up near veggies of different types, colours, and legumes and beans. They've said legumes and beans twice.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that you can fuck off when it comes to that.
Exactly. Right? Grain. You got grain foods, mostly whole grain or high fibre varieties such as breads, cereals, rice, pasta, noodles, polenta, couscous, oats, quinoa, and barley, right? And then they've got fruit. Okay? This is going to crack you up. Okay? Guideline, limit intake of foods containing saturated fat, added salt, added sugars, and alcohol. Limit intake of foods high in saturated fat, such as biscuits. Pretty sure they're made of grain. If you don't buy the high in sugar ones, pretty sure they're made of a grain. So you just contradicted yourself.
You fucked up there.
Cakes,
fucked up there.
Cakes and pastries and pies. Okay, if you've made them at home yourself, you can reduce the sugar content. So that, nope. Pies and pastries are made of pastries that are from grains, flour. Okay.
Yeah.
Contradicted again. Processed meats, that comes under lean meats, poultry. Lean meat section. Yep. Comes under lean meat section because that's what it is. Commercial burgers. I can understand that.
See, when it comes to the commercial burgers like Macca's or Hungry Jack's or something like that, or Burger King to the Americans.
Limit that. That's a once in a while. It's too fucking expensive anyway. So, yeah, stick away from that. Good one.
Exactly.
Pizza, again, if you're making it homemade, because of the amount of recipes you can get these days, like how to make your own pizza base using Greek yogurt and flour.
Yeah.
That is a really, really good, nice, healthy version, which you could make mini pizzas for your kids. So why are you telling them off?
Yeah, but...
So you telling me I'm going to make this pizza for my kid, they're going to take it to school and they're going to get told off for it?
Yeah, but then what's in the pizza bases? Grains, flour, yeast.
Exactly. Right?
Exactly. Up your ass.
Okay, fried foods, understandable. Potato chips.
Oh, come on.
Potatoes a vegetable.
You can get chips now that have been oven cooked, not fried. You can get so many healthier choices now. Fuck off.
Many like chips, crisps, and other savoury snacks. You can get all of this. Everything is done without all of the crap that there used to be in it. So why are we? You're basically saying, here's a piece of fucking paper with nothing on it. You can eat that.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
What else? Place high-fat foods which contain saturated fats, such as butter. Okay, I use Nutlix, which is gluten-free, it's dairy-free, it's nut-free, like... What are you going to cook with? Cream, cooking margarine, coconut, and palm oil, okay? Coconut oil's bad for you apparently now, even though it was so good for you at one point. Palm oil, with foods containing predominantly polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, such as oils, spreads, nut butters, pastes, and avocado. Apparently, did you hear that? Can't have avocado. The healthiest fucking thing going, great for fucking iron. No, can't have it. It's high fat.
It's high cholesterol.
I got a fucking shirt for my husband and it's got an avocado on it. It says, I'm a good kind of fat. Like, what the fuck?
So this is the thing. This is why I sent it to you, because I thought this is absolutely fucking ridiculous what they're actually saying now.
Hang on. No. Here's the worst sentence that I think I've ever heard in my life. Low-fat diets are not suitable for children under the age of 2. Why the fuck would you put a child on a diet to start with, you fucking miserable, nasty bastard? Why would you do that to your child? Unless you've spoken to a dietitian, like my special needs daughter. She had put on way too much weight.
Yeah.
She was on a regular diet, but she put on way too much weight.
Exactly.
For her level of mobility and her age, right? Because her level of fat is different to boys' level of fat.
Yeah, of course.
Because she's mainly wheelchair bound and she moves differently, but I digress. So her dietitian said, keep everything as it is, just swap things for high protein. That way she gets the energy boost.
Yeah.
And she's not losing out.
Exactly.
So instead of a sandwich with any kind of spread she wants, like Vegemite, cheese, ham, whatever, it was because her school are all indoors and they have their own fridges for each individual classroom. She was able to have a tuna or chicken sandwich and a boiled egg.
Yeah.
And Greek yogurts and up and goes, sugar-free up and goes. That type of stuff, right?
Yep.
But why would you put your kid on a diet? Anyway, limit intake of foods and drinks containing added salt.
Everything's got fucking salt.
I'm pretty sure Hydrolyte, which is really good for you, is high in salt.
It's fucking salt.
The thing is, right? Don't add salt into foods or cooking.
I know.
I don't get it, Matt. Like,
I know. That's what I mean.
When you sweat, what do you sweat? Water?
Which is mixed with...
What else?
Which is mixed
what
with
else
sodium.
Which is with sodium, right? Which is part of your electrolytes. If you're not intaking salt, you're not replacing your electrolytes correctly. Your body is a perfect balance, and one of that balance is fucking sodium.
Well, when it comes to Gatorades, Powerades, and that type of shit, yeah, it might be a little bit high in sugar, but it's also got a shit ton of sodium in it because you need it.
Limit intake of foods and drinks containing added sugars such as confectionery, sugar-sweetened soft drinks, cordials, fruit drinks, vitamin waters, energy, and sports drinks. Sports drinks, they're pure electrolyte drinks, and you're not allowed to. And no. This one's going to piss me off too. Guideline 4. Encourage, support, and promote breastfeeding. Some women can't. Okay? I've had all these kids. My last child, I couldn't. I got to a week and then my body just stopped. It froze. It dried. I was pumping like crazy until my nipples were fucking bleeding. Stop pushing the breastfeeding shit.
Exactly.
They can't breastfeed. They can't breastfeed. Let it fucking go.
Exactly.
Unless you're intentionally poisoning the fucking formula supply, let it go.
Oh, that's what I mean. It's insane. It's absolutely insane what they're saying now. It really is.
Guideline 5, prepare and store safely your food. Drink plenty of water. Yeah, drinking plenty of water is fine, but if you're fucking not intaking enough sodium, you're don't think people understand this, and it is something that I am going to bring up with cerebral palsy. Watch the repetitive actions, people, because there is such a thing called water toxicity or water-related deaths that are they're like internal fucking drownings.
It is. And yeah, plus if you drink too much water, your kidneys can't handle it.
Okay, or water poisoning or whatever. I had to do it with Skylar. We didn't realise it until she'd had like 20 bottles that day, and I'd counted them and I went, that's far too much. And I have to monitor exactly how much water she intakes because she will drink and drink and drink and drink because she's got no knowledge of it. Because, and this is the stats, I'll find it, I'll post it if necessary, but among everyone, the mentally retarded are more susceptible to death by water. Okay, water poisoning, water toxicity. The most deaths, the highest rate of deaths of water toxicity are of the mentally retarded. But if you drink too much water and you're not fucking watching your fucking sodium levels, what you do by sculling water is you lower your sodium levels so much so that your fucking kidneys shut down and your internal organs start shutting down. And before you realize it, in your bad dehydration era, is you're in the danger zone. What do you think they put in the bags that are in the hospital to rehydrate you? Sodium.
Geez, I don't know.
Sodium.
Oh, is it?
Water. It's saline. It's water and salt.
Exactly. And there's been so many cases where people have died from it, and people are not realising it. But, oh, no, we got to stay healthy. We got to put our kids on diets. We got to do this. We got to do that. Listen to the people who actually fucking know and actually pay attention to people who have got different needs, like me. Prime example for me, when I was doing wood, working out 30-degree weather, 35-degree weather, getting me wood. What's one thing you always said to me? Have you got what?
Have you got your water as well as your electrolyte drink? So you take water and you take your electrolyte drink, because your electrolyte drink, you only need a very small amount, but you sip on it over an hour period to make sure that your sodium levels are perfect.
I've always got me water. I've always got me Powerade with me because I have to have it, because I sweat like a bugger when I'm doing hard work like that. And it is one of those things you always got to fucking have on you.
Well, it's not just that. Up in the mines, they're hitting 50-degree weather all the time, every fucking time. They hand out the electrolyte sachets to every worker like it's fucking candy. They have fridges stocked full of Hydrolyte icy poles for the workers at any given time, because dehydration can kill. And one of the main factors of fucking dehydration is sodium.
Exactly. So when it comes to salts, don't necessarily believe everything that you fucking hear when it comes to salts.
Look, at the end of the fucking day, okay, give them a healthy breakfast. The less sugar, the better, okay? Wheat Bix, cornflakes, rice bubbles with no sugar, with a little sugar, with honey, or use sweetener. If you want them away from cow's milk, go for some fucking soy milk if you must. Fucking pouring up and go, a sugar-free up and go on there. Fucking my kids love it.
Exactly.
They reckon it tastes great. Cordial. Never put a cordial in a bottle, because it makes your teeth go brown. Because of the amount of sugar that collects on the tip of a water bottle, it can make your teeth go brown.
Mm.
So make sure you're not putting cordials in bottles, okay?
Mm.
Cordial is an occasional drink. It's a treat drink, but it's a drink nonetheless. Stop fucking over-monitoring shit. It's how I tell... it's been successful with some. I'm not going to say too much about it, but a lot of women that have had some bad experiences through their pregnancies, I've just told them, just go with what your body craves.
Exactly.
If your body's craving it, it's craving it for a reason. Look into what that food, what the benefit of that food is.
Exactly.
Or what ingredients is in that food. And maybe try and find an alternative that would give you the same satisfaction, or maybe at least you'll gain some knowledge as to why your body's craving it so much. And go check with your local GP. If you're that worried and you're eating a particular food 24/7, like you're always wanting red meat, maybe your iron levels need checking.
Exactly.
But when it comes to children, they're children. They crave these things because they need the energy.
Yeah.
If you want them running around all the time, then you need to just let them be.
Exactly.
Stop letting... Here's an idea, guys. You want your kids... How about you stop all this guideline bullshit? Like, some of these things, like I'm not even going to go into it anymore. I'm so fucking over it. We'll post it on the Facebook page so you guys can have a fucking read and a giggle yourself, but just stop.
And the health.
If you want your kids to be healthy and skinny, lose the fucking devices.
Oh, when it comes to tech.
Kick them outside like we did in the 90s. Be those parents. Kick them outside and say, no, you're not allowed back inside. Oh, you want water? The garden hose is right there.
Exactly. But one thing I will say, if your kid has got diabetes, anything like that, you have to give them some form of something with sugar in it to keep their things up.
Absolutely.
There is so many things out there that could happen when it comes to people with diabetes too, and because I'm one of them, I'm type 2. If I don't have some form of sugar or some form of Powerade or something like that, especially on a hot day, or if I've done something for a long time, you could literally have a hypo, and that is something that you do not want your kid to go through. And so sometimes you have to give your kids sugar, or sometimes you have to give your kids salt and that. But if you're that worried about it, give your kids some jelly beans to have with them just in case. If the teachers carry on at you about it, well, say, well, fuck you. I've actually got diabetes here. My kid's diabetic. And he has to have those jelly beans with him or her to make sure that his sugar levels are fucking fine, or unless your kid's going to be fucking collapsing and having a hypo. But the whole thing is, right, is that don't necessarily force your kids on these diets. Don't force your kids and eating these.
Just don't put them on diets. Just let them be fucking kids. Just feed them what they fucking want.
They will make up their own
decisions.
Just
be the fucking parent. It's all about portion control, guys.
The whole thing.
Change the plate size.
The whole thing is, when it comes to these type of things, these type of rules, I reckon they're full of shit.
Yeah, and I reckon
that.
Like, the governing bodies need to just look. We don't tell you how to fucking do this, that, and the other. And these teachers, we don't tell you how to fucking teach. So why don't you stop telling me how to parent? How about that?
And like I said, I reckon all these bloody things should all go down the dunny.
Yeah.
Simple.
100%.
Simple as that. Flush it down the dunny, and just let your kids just be done. Just let them be kids.
Move on.
Don't necessarily listen to everything that you get fucking told. That's for fucking sure.
Well, I think that's it for the Psycho Bush rant. What have we got next?
We have actually got. Do you want to go first with your music choices, or you want me to go first?
Either.
Well, I reckon we will go with the old music mashup.
Yep. Yeah,
boy. Now, when it comes to the music mashup, I've actually got some very interesting choices. Now this is going to be a little bit complicated for me to say because it's actually a French song, but it's a great song. It's Child Plan Pour Moi. It's by Plastic Burton, is it? It's a very catchy song. Very, very catchy song. It's
Plastic Bertrand.
Yes, it's a very, very catchy song.
Pour moi. Semblin pour moi.
Wow.
It's the same song that we all remember from Eurotrip. Semblin pour moi. Semblin pour moi. Wah, 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 wah. Semblin pour moi. Semblin pour moi.
That song. It's a great song to fucking dance to. It's a great song to drive for. It's just a catchy song.
Oh, it's just one of those ones that...
you go a bit nutter with it. Put it that way. And you can't help yourself to sing to it. You can't help yourself.
What's the next one?
Next one is because I was at the rugby, and because this is a very famous rugby song, it is Tub Throbbing. Thumping. So,
Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
That's a good song. That is a very, very good song. And then the next one is New Divide by Linkin Park. That is from the Transformers, and it is a fucking great fucking song.
So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. That one's a good one. I break myself.
But it's a great song to have fucking loud. It's a great song to have loud. And the next one's an oldie. It's called Whiskey in the Jar by Metallica. That's a good rock metal type version to it. It's an old
types of songs you just want to
smash to,
you just want to fucking dance psycho to in the fucking a long trip in the car by the sounds of it.
Oh fuck yeah. And then we've got one of my all-time favourite bands, besides Metallica and Linkin Park, and that is Never Never by Korn. That is
I love Korn. Who didn't love Korn?
Fucking
Porn was the ultimate make-out sesh back in the 90s. Early 2000s.
yes, I was going to say.
Shut up.
But yeah, Korn is definitely a great fucking song. Never, never. And then I went through the old music that I used to listen to, and that is "I Will Wait" by Mumford and Sons. That is just,
Mumford?
Yeah, it's Mumford. I reckon it's Mumford and Sons. It's a great fucking tune. Great tune. And that is my Music Mash recommendations. Now,
Sounds good.
Now it's time for Sykes song selection. Now, what's your choices?
Psycho song selection for the week. I've gone into my techno era again. I've gone into my old school raving mind of the early 2000s rave masters. And Melon and Dance Fruits came out with a new song this week.
Yeah.
And I was in love with it. It's Lay All Your Love on Me by Melon and Dance Fruits Music. You have got to check it out, guys. They've released a new album. But that particular song really just got me bouncing in the car. Made me want to grab me old shuffle pants out. And
well, I've actually heard these selections, guys. They're bloody good tunes. They're real good tunes. Good.
Like, I've been smashing them hard. My kids are in love with them.
The Dance Fruits is pretty good.
Make sure you chuck them on when you're cleaning the house, or chuck them on when you're down at the gym, or just blast the fuck out of them in your car. You'll love them.
Dance Fruits is pretty bloody good too.
One of the old schools that we liked it, but we didn't like it, from Kylie Minogue. Do you remember that? The old "Can't Get You Out of My Head." Well, head on over to Hyper Demon, Aiden Music, and Mr. Demon, who have "Can't Get You Out of My Head" remix techno. It is fucking delicious.
It is hard.
Oh, it's tasty as fuck. I highly suggest it. If you didn't, or you did like the Kylie Minogue song,
all the blokes loved the video. They didn't give a fuck about the song. They loved the video. That's as simple as that.
You know, for weeks after they were singing "Can't Get You Out," and they're just images in their head.
Yeah, with a fucking cloth over her, showing everything. That's what it was.
Number 3 is Eurocry by excuse me if I get this wrong. Dimitic, James' son, and, as we all know from TikTok, who has a twin brother who is the new Purple Wiggle. Some of the girls out there really fancy him. Lenny Pierce. The song is called Eurocry. Finally, bring it in at number 4. This one really wanted me raving. This gives very early 2000s raving vibes.
Yes, definitely.
It is Wings, the techno version by No Emotion. You need to listen to it. That is my Psycho song selection for the week. They will be up on the Apple Music playlist and the Spotify playlist. Make sure you add the playlist.
Exactly. And follow along.
Follow along if you want to play along.
Now, we've actually got this this new segment that we've been working on. Is it worth the money, or does it go down, or is the money down the drain? Now, you've actually got yourself a pretty decent one. The
segment is called "Is It Worth the Money?" And by the end, after we've put our reviews in, we go, have we hit the jackpot, or is this money down the drain?
Exactly.
Money down the toilet. So you will either hear this for a jackpot, or you're going to hear this for money down the toilet. Exactly, right? So, is it worth the money? Matt's trying to get used to the buttons.
Oh, fuck it. I've got well, when I was having the yak, I only had about 6 buttons. Now I've got fucking 10. So I've got to...
You need a bigger roadcaster. If you're listening to us, make sure you send him a bigger board.
Yes, please. That'd be pretty good.
Money. I made a purchase last week on this particular place that I have seen all over TikTok. I'm fucking in love. As a person who is very scent orientated, I love something that smells delicious. Gotta love something that smells divine.
Getting your senses going.
Gotta get the senses going. I went and I purchased, I think it was 12 or 15.
Yes, yeah,
12, 13, no, 15. I bought all 15 of their range currently from Mask Co. Now,
you've been begging to show me these. You've been begging to tell me about
begging
these.
to show you them. So let's get through this. So the www.maskco.com is where you go to check these fragrances out. There are no parabens or any phthalates or anything like that. No nasties. They are also 100% vegan and cruelty free. They're Aussie made. They are located in Byron Bay. So if you're in that direction, make sure you
go check them out, guys.
head on down. Premium fragrances that smell exactly like the label says. Now, they have a large range here, Matt. They have toilet sprays, air fresheners, car diffusers, hand sanitizers, nightlight diffusers, reed diffusers. They even have a very particular range of smells called the Pajama Foundation range. Now,
nice.
The Pajama Foundation range are a particular range. Right, I'll bring it up here
and
on the website.
These are all sprays too, by the way, aren't they?
They're a collaboration with the Pajama Foundation, and all of their retail price in which you pay for the pajama range only, 50% of every item that's purchased goes directly to the Pajama Foundation.
Yeah, see, that's good. That's what you want.
Okay, and now listen to these 5 selections that you get.
Right.
Banana lollies.
Oh.
These are air fresheners. So this is what it's. Yes.
Oh,
banana lollies, Fruit Loops, rainbow sherbet, snakes alive, and Sour Patch lollies.
Fucking nice.
Nice
smells.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now, the Pajama Foundation works to disrupt the system of disadvantage and positively impact the unequivocal life trajectories evidenced for children and young people from an out-of-home care background.
Oh,
okay?
Nice, yeah.
So they support kids and young people in care, basically.
Yeah, see, that's always good. That's good. That's brilliant.
Exactly. So, moving on. Listen to these flavours that I've got, and I sat, my whole house has not stopped smelling amazing all day because I took a spritz of each one.
Of course you did.
And then the kids all wanted to smell, so I had to spray some in the air. Like, the main prominent one that has stuck out all day is the maple syrup pancake smell.
Oh, fuck off, really?
Yes, maple
fuck
syrup
off.
pancakes. Yes, maple syrup pancakes.
Yum.
And oh my God, does it smell amazing. I will post the picture up on Facebook so you guys can see. I've already got it posted up on my personal Facebook and my Instagram. But yeah, so they've got maple syrup pancakes, they've got vanilla, pistachio and salted caramel, mandarin and lime, red frogs, goja berry and Tarocco orange, strawberry smoothie.
Bloody hell, there's very interesting fucking flavours, or not flavours, but smells.
Now, the French croissant, I don't think it's actually French croissant. Me and the boys and hubby all agree it smells more like buttered popcorn.
Oh, yeah. Yum.
One called fairy dust, coconut and lime, vanilla bean and caramel, wood sage and sea salt, musk sticks.
My mum would love that one because she loves a fucking mustard.
Mate, it smells very good. It smells, mate. I tell ya, if you get a chance, go onto that page because they got reed diffusers and they've got the aromatherapy, like diffusers with the steam and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and you can get the diffuser and the musk smell in an oil. your mum for an upcoming birthday, maybe, if you
Yes.
purchase it now when you've got a little bit put aside. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and how much is that?
I will check in 2 seconds after I get through these last. So there's lychee and peony, and then there's black raspberry and vanilla. And finally, now this is why I say these. This is great. I sprayed the fairy dust in the kids' room, in Ava's room.
Yeah.
She hasn't woken up. She's in love. She's in heaven. Boys' room smells like buttered popcorn.
Of course.
And Skylar's room, we are currently toilet training, and her room does have a bit of a urine smell to it. I walked in, I sprayed 3 to 4 spritzes in the air and on the bed, 2 in the air and 2 on the bed.
Mm.
That room still smells like baby powder because this last smell is called baby powder. It just smells like baby powder.
So they've actually got a liquid form as baby powder. Fuck, that's unreal.
Yes!
That's unreal. That's
freaking amazing.
She's getting very excited, guys. If you can see her, she's like a little kid in a candy shop.
I am. I'm so happy. So the aroma diffuser set, right, if we get plain white or the multicolour light, which one?
We'll get the multicolour one. Why not?
Right, and you go with, because it comes in bundles. So you get one of them with, say, champagne and red raspberry, apple and walnut scroll. These are the oils you can get with it. Wood, sage and sea salt, grape bubble gum, jasmine and bergamot, rainbow sherbet. I've got that in the oils. I've got the rainbow sherbet, and it does smell like rainbow sherbet. It's freaking amazing. The blood orange and lemon zest is so yummy.
See, lemon zest, fuck yeah. You mix that with the blood
But
orange,
it's
it'd be
blood
nice.
orange and lemon zest together.
Yeah. It'll be fucking citrus.
And the magical pineapple smells just like yellow lollies.
So,
yes, it's amazing.
Oh, shit.
Say we'd go the blood orange and say we go maple syrup pancakes, right?
Yep.
Oh, it says it's sold out.
Well, we'll just go with a basic selection just to give our listeners a bit of a...
Okay, let's go up to their currently available bundles. Best-selling bundles right here.
Now, our prices may change while I listen to this, so just give you a bit of example. So,
well, let's put it this way: all 12 air fresheners cost me $89.95.
Yeah,
now
that's pretty good.
These are not small bottles. These are not small bottles, Matt. You can see the size of these. These are 100ml bottles.
And you only need probably 1 or 2 sprays, wouldn't you?
Hey?
You only need probably 1 or 2 sprays, wouldn't you?
You only need 1 or 2 sprays. These are so strong, it's not funny.
Yeah, so probably 1 spray would even be enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a reed diffuser one here, which comes with 4 fragrances. It comes with a giant refill bottle plus the actual reed diffuser, fully loaded with the reeds in it for $89.95. The aroma diffuser refills bundle, which I bought a 6-pack of, was only $30.
Nice.
So, I mean,
Definitely
normally
nice.
you go to any kind of shop and try and get oils, they're expensive.
Oh, shit, yeah. Like if you go to Dusk and that type of places, and like Mum bought some there the other day, and it cost her like $35 for a little 30ml bottle. It wasn't a small bottle; it was like $35 or something. It's bullshit how much they charge.
Exactly, but these ones you're getting giant fucking 300-400. What was that giant refill bottle? 3 reed diffuser refills bundle that these are big bottles.
So how big are those ones?
I can't see. It's not telling me. Hang on. Go over to the shop section. Go over to reed diffuser set and refills.
This might take a bit while.
It does take a bit, okay.
Hang on. I can hear something too.
What?
Well, it's taking that long. I can hear crickets. Come on.
Oh, shush. It's over 130 ml fragrance refills.
See, that's pretty good. That's pretty
And
fucking
you get
good.
3 of them. Like I said, you get 3 of them for $49.
That's a pretty good. I'm loving these buttons. I really am. I'm getting used to them. So it's good.
Okay. Now, moving on from them, this is more on the cheaper side for you guys. I made a little impulse purchase and I purchased myself the White Wings cake in a cup.
Oh, this is food porn. Oh, bake it.
Smoke it.
Fry it. Oh, fuck.
Food porn.
Yes.
Now, I was meant to make it, but my husband went ahead and made it for me just before.
Yeah.
And both my husband and I agree that it is a 10 out of fucking 10 on taste.
Yeah.
It is piss easy to make. All you need is 2 tablespoons of fucking milk. You get 4 sachets. So that's 4 different cake in a cups in one pack for $6 from any of your local Coles or Woolworths.
$6.
Okay.
Shit.
The only downside, I would say, is that you need a very small mug for it to, I'm doing air quotations here, people, overflow.
Oh, right.
Because my cup, maybe it's because my cups are bigger because I like coffee.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
And it only takes 60 seconds in the microwave. So, preparation time and arsing about takes about 3 minutes in total for perfect portion. And if you've got more than a minute, grab some icing sugar and a little water, make a quick donut glaze to go on top. Because the one that I got was the cinnamon donut.
Oh,
Now, I thought they were individual, so I bought 2 boxes. So I had 8 sachets. and I've used 2, and now I have 6 left. My fat ass is going to go make the rest.
Why not?
They also have 2 other flavours. They have the double chocolate cake and the chocolate brownie.
Oh,
and
shit.
You know what, Matt?
She just
You know
dropped the
what?
phone. Hang on a second.
Sorry, I just threw the phone at myself.
Ow.
Do you know what I say, Matt?
What?
It is definitely hit the jackpot.
Yeah, most definitely. For $6 per pack, you get 4 things. Fucking $12 for 8. That's pretty fucking good.
Well, if you break it down into 4, what's 6 divided by 4?
I'm not good at maths. I'm sorry.
1.5.
I need to go back to school.
$1.50. It's $1.50 per serving.
See, that's what I mean, guys. Fucking cash in your hand, and you get your value for money too. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, basically, if we go off of girls' math, it's free.
That's that's going to be a question I'm going to be asking you about.
It's
what
girl
the
math.
fuck is this bloody different maths? I've heard girl maths, I've heard men's maths, I've heard all sorts of these different maths.
Wait, I know girls' math, I know man's math, I know dad's math, I know mum's math. There's so many different maths.
There's so many of them. Fucking hell.
But moving on, that is my Is It Worth the Money review. And moving on to our final segment where we thank Pond5 as usual, especially for some of the new sounds that we've got at the low price that they always are.
So these are the new ones that you've just done, right? This one here, that's Pond5. This is Pond5, right? This is Pond5. So that's what I mean. You get all sorts of music. You get all sorts of effects. The Dunny one, that was mine. I recorded it. So you can flush the Dunny. But that's what I mean. Like all these, like the intro, all these different segments.
Fucking Newham. That's all us.
That's all us. That one. That's all us. And
maybe we should see if Pond5 will start selling that one. They're our good friends. Why shouldn't they?
Yeah, why not? But it's unreal. the amount of stuff you can do with Pond 5, it's unreal how much shit you can go through. I've gone through so much different effects, looking for new sounds for you guys for the soundboard. And also to make sure you go on to our descriptions, our things, and you'll also get a 20% discount on your first order if you use our link.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
20%?
yeah, 20%, and on your first order. So why not sign up to them?
Oh.
They are a great service if you're a streamer.
That's my 20%.
But no, if you're a streamer like on Twitch, podcasting like we are now, TikToker, YouTuber, any type of thing like you do on that, if you're like, she sniffed the things now, and yeah, she's just fucking loving it. But it is a great smells, and the amounts of smells that you can get.
I swear to God, if this phone had smell vision.
And but yeah, no, make sure you go check them out.
All over the bed. I'm going to spray it all over the bed. I'm going to see if it increases sexy time with my husband.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I reckon in some ways Pond 5 is definitely a cash grab. So make sure you go and grab it, and make sure you go over there and check them out.
They are a cut above the rest, guys. And don't forget, whatever you purchase, you get the license for it. You get the rights to use it.
It's everything.
So
everything that you need.
Nobody can come to you. Just make sure you read the T's and C's.
Yes, noughts and crosses, that type of shit. Cross your T's. But it's
Cross your T's, dot your I's.
So what I will tell you is now, right, when I first bought my thing, I was worried, oh shit, copyrights, blah, blah, blah. I went on and I actually got on to their buy supports or their support teams or whatever like that. They came back to me in a matter of a day or so, and I actually asked them, is this okay? Is that okay? I asked questions, and they got back to me and said, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can do that.
Really diligent in that way. They get back to you straight away.
Most
really,
definitely.
really good.
I think I sent them an email on a Monday. I got an email back from them on the Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Yeah. So it is great stuff. So go and check them out, guys, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But we have been running for a fucking long time for this episode. It's like 2 hours 21 at the moment. It's been one.
Oh well, okay. We've been doing good so far. We can have a long one. You know, cerebral palsy. It doesn't get enough. It's an important topic. It doesn't get enough as it is, and this one needed to be said. You know, cerebral palsy doesn't get enough. With considering like from what we've read.
Yeah, no.
With how common it is, it doesn't get enough.
It has to be spoken. It has to be talked about. So make sure you go and spread the word about it, and just be kind to each other about it all. You know,
go ask questions.
If you don't, like I said there before, there's no such thing as a dumb question, and whoever you ask, and if they know what they're talking about,
just do me a favour.
Just go and
don't ask the stupid question. Okay, it's something my father asked me. Like my biological father. Just don't ask, what's their life expectancy like? That's a stupid question, okay?
Be respectful.
They're differently abled. They're not fucking dying.
Exactly. Be respectful, be kind, and what questions you ask. Like, come on. You just think of that. But anyway, I'm going to say see you later from us. Hooroo from the Guru. Take care of each other.
Wait.
This is going to be one of our things now, isn't it? Because you're always interrupting when I'm saying see you later.
Wait.
You're doing another couple jokes, aren't you?
We've got to end it properly, okay? We've got to end it like...
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this as a segment.
No, because...
Yes, we are.
No, it doesn't work like that. I'm not going to... It's different every time, okay? Just...
Well,
what kind of dog lives in a toilet?
What?
A poodle. Okay? Why don't hookers wear underwear?
Oh, fuck. Why?
Have you ever tried to pull apart a grilled cheese sandwich? Okay, bye.
See ya.